So how's it going, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, it's Master Duel and we'll be talking about a deck that I've been running for fun in the Anti-Spell Festival. Now this deck, I would say, well, I will have some few comments about this deck later on the video, so hope you can get to that part of the video. Anyways, as you might see here, I already grinded out all of the rewards that this festival has to muster. And I know Konami is just gonna give us another reward system later on the line for the festival. Anyway, so like I said, it's easy to grind out the rewards for this festival. There are a couple of decks that I've been using for this festival. Mainly, Sword Soul is one of the go-to cards or go-to archetype for this festival. It's easy. There's not much magic cards even out of the Anti-Spell Festival. Mostly your trap cards is just gonna be composed of blackouts, imperms, and a ton of negates like the Solemns. Other than that, just add all the 10 new monsters and of course the Sword Soul monsters in your arsenal. I already tackled this one in the previous video. I don't want to tackle it again. There's also some other archetypes like Unchains, some Live Twins, some other cards that doesn't really need so far spell cards to navigate its win con. Anyways, so what I have here in front of you is Sharks. So I have been running this deck for a day now. This deck is mainly composed, or the main deck is just mainly composed of normals and rares. So it's basically easy to compose this deck or to build this deck. The only high rarity shark you have here is just the new Abyss Shark. Just spell something to the field, and then you can add one level 3, level 4, or level 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand. So that's basically a good effect right there. Other than that, you have your Ash Blossom, your Max C, and of course your Token Collector. Now, why do I need Token Collector? Basically, a ton of people, or most of the games that I am playing up against are Sword Soul players, so Token Collector is one of those go-to cards that you can even destroy the pesky tokens in your opponent's side of the field. Other than that, we have Nibiru for those Sword Soul players. You have Imperm, Ice Dragon's Prison, just banishing their monsters, and the Solemn cards that I really want to run if you are going first. Now there is also the Lost Wind card that you can even use, and I don't have the card that can pop spell or traps in the field, and it is an SR card. I don't want to craft those ones. So anyways, that is the main deck, guys. That is the composition of the main deck. Extra deck, it's not really UR or SR friendly, so it's basically composed of SR and URs only, as you may see here. For some reason, it is needed because Bahamut Shark, totally awesome. Kragans are all SR and UR cards. You have the Utopias, very much needed if you have two copies of Kragans on the field. Mainly the Stealth Kragan spawn on the field. You can go for Utopic Future, and then you go for number F0 Utopic Draco Future. Then you have either Nash Knight, then you have the CXYZ Nash Knight. The only problem with this is I don't have the C101, was it? Honor Dark something. I don't have that, so you just have to go into Nash Knight alone, which is really irrelevant. But regardless, you can even just go for Nash Knight. It's still a good end board to have that monster on your side of the field. Other than that, you have Arsenal Zeus, and then for your link monsters, you have Era the Water Charmer, very much useful for the deck. Even so useful if you are going up against Sword Soul monsters, because it summons Muyi to your field. If ever there's a Muyi in their graveyard, it can even summon one of the basically water monsters. You have Nightmare Unicorn. Some good scenarios you can use this card. Access Code Talker, good scenarios, it's up to you. So basically that is the deck right there, guys. It's not that much. All this deck does is XZ summon to the field, and then move your way up to your other boss monsters, which is your Zeus, your Utopic Feature, your Totally Awesome, and even your Kragan. So that is it. Let's move on to the replays, and I'll tell you guys whether or not you'll use this deck, or you would like to run this deck. So yeah, let's go to the replays. So anyways guys, here is the start of the replay, and we only have 3 game replays for you guys today. And you might be wondering why my face isn't on the camera. Well, basically I'm in an awkward position right now. Regardless, I'm still gonna do the replays narration. So to start off, our opponent is going first, and we drew into XYZ Remora, 1 token collector, 1 right hand shark, and 2 copies of Abyss Shark. I think we're going up against a Sword Soul player here, or a Sword Soul player. To start off any Sword Soul deck's play, we have Mui to the field, revealing another copy of Mui on his hand. Spiral summon the token, and that's perfect. We Spiral summon our token collector to the field. And his turn there with 3 back rows, and it's on our turn to draw into Ice Dragon's Prison. Normal summon right hand shark. We then XYZ summon to the Charmer, because that's basically our only go-to combo right there. We should have summoned XYZ Remora and then go with Abyss Shark, but regardless, it's still good because we have to Spiral summon Mui on our second turn. Then we go for Abyss Shark, since Mui is a water monster, and we go with Stealth Kraken on the field. So ending our turn there with Ice Dragon as our back row. So our opponent is gonna summon other copy of Mui. I was going to pop that monster. Regardless, he will use Blackout as any sensible Sword Soul player would do. But regardless, my Stealth Kraken will summon the 2 spawns, and my Charmer will Spiral summon a water monster from my deck to the field. So basically that is detrimental for my opponent, since we already have materials on hand as well on our next turn. So game number 2, guys, and we're going first, and and I think we're going up against coders here. We don't have the best of hand. Regardless, Lifeless, Leafish, Ash Blossom, and 1 Judgment, and 2 copies of Lost Wind. It is fine. Regardless. But let's go with Lifeless Leafish on attack position. We need to summon, send to the graveyard, and then we got Ash Blossom. So basically that is one of the problems right there. Materials no for us. Setting our Judgment and the last copy of Lost Wind. Glad actually did this because he uses Micro Cutter and then going up against Code Talker on the field. He then will use Micro Cutter's effect. I didn't use my Ash Blossom, but I think he has another monster on his hand basically. There we go. So the Math Mech monster, and a Special Summon on the field, deducting 1000 from my my monster's attack. He was go for destruction of my Leafish. Luckily, I have a Lost Wind just to pop that coder. And then basically that he ends his turn there with my level 4 monster on the field. So basically, he doesn't know the playstyle for sharks. Materials is everything. Luckily, I drew into the Angler. We go for Bahamut Shark. He then uses Solemn Strike. I then chain with my Judgment because I need to have another water monster in the field. And, or of course, yes, we need to summon Totally Awesome. There we go. Detach 1 card, summon Totally Awesome to the field. Then I was going just go for attack, but he summoned his Effect Veiler or used the effect of Effect Veiler just for that, or not, and he just scooped basically. So last game, guys, this is against the Danger Dark World deck. Basically, if you are going up against one of these kind of decks, your problem with this deck, or the problem with that kind of deck is you're not actually afraid of the monsters that's gonna be special summoned to the field. It's actually the monster that comes out from that special summon, which is from the extra deck. Regardless, let's start. 2 copies of XYZ Remora, 1 Lantern Shark, 1 Abyss Shark, and 1 Crystal Shark. So, we go with Lantern Shark on our first turn. Spiral Summoning Remora, and then Spiral Summoning Abyss Shark, getting a copy of Angler. Activate the effect of Crystal Shark, Spiral Summoning to the field. And then we go towards Stealth Kraken as our first summon. And then we go towards Bahamut Shark as our second XYZ summon. We use the effect of Bahamut Shark, detach 1 card, Spiral Summon Totally Awesome to the field. And then we use Angler's effect. So basically, that's the end right there. So I should have used a Remora's effect, for Kraken, and then, you know, link off XYZ summon on another monster. Regardless, our opponent's just gonna do 2 back rows and 1 front row set. So Lifeless Leafer is gonna be normal summon, sending 1 water monster to the graveyard, and then we move to Drill Driver, XZ summon, and then a copy of Spawn is gonna be summoned to the field right here. There we go. And then you do battle, basically. So he uses the effect of the card. What you call this card? Danger Zone to draw 3 cards, discard 2. So Nessie and then Grapha is going to be sent to the graveyard. Grapha is going to use its effect just to pop 1 card in the field. Nessie is going to be allows it to draw. Was it? Is it the effect of Nessie? Basically, I chain with my Totally Awesome, sending my Crystal Shark back to my hand. And then I use the effect to attack those face down defense position monster, which is really annoying since he has Morphing Jar. I never seen this card since the start of any games by any matter. So we draw 5 cards with the effect of Morphing Jar, and he did actually good. It was very beneficial for his deck. Luckily we drew into Solemn Strike, Lost Wind, Imperm, and of course Ice Dragon's Prison. Set 3 back rows more and 4 back rows more, and just end our turn there. So another Danger Zone is going to be activated, chaining with my Maxi. We draw 3 cards and then send to the graveyard 2 cards for that. Graph is going to use its effect, popping my Stealth Kraken, and then using Danger Jackalope to be spell summoned to the field. Oh, sorry, was it the Danger Monster from the deck? Sorry, that's a different card. That was Chupacabra, I think. So yeah, we got a copy of Angler from that Maxi, from our Maxi. Number 4. Or was it from our Maxi, or was it from the effect of Jackalope? Regardless, yeah, he's gonna use the combo for his Dark World monsters, basically. Graph on the field, Ice Dragon's Prison, will summon his own Graph on the field and banish the 2 Graphs on the field. There we go. He's also trained Maxi at this point on. Regardless, it was fine. There we go. Nessie allows us to draw more cards. So from there on in, we draw into Boss Shark, Mountain Shark, and Abyss Shark, and also Infinite Impermanence. So he summoned Danger Thunderbird. Is gonna attack my Drill Driver. Regardless, we got Lost Wind at this point on. Destroy this monster to set 2 back rows and end his turn there. So at this point on, my only choice here is actually normal summoning Lantern Shark, and then going for another Exi summon, and of course sending out my boss monsters to the field. He uses at this point on, he uses the effect of Deck Devastation Virus. So this is the first time I've actually seen this card on play in any type of deck. So yeah, I just allowed it just because for the sake of actually playing up against this card. Regardless, so yeah, let's move forward. So any 1/5 or lower monster in my hand and on the field is going to be popped, and whatever draw monster that I have that is 1/5 or lower attack is destroyed. He's going to use this effect for the Lord of the Lair. So basically, just negated that one. So we go for Nash Knight, and then we go for CXYZ Nash Knight. And it would be better if we got that other Nash Knight monster, the Honor something, Honor Dark. But yeah, we're out of UR shards, boys and girls. So at this point on, we go for Utopic 0 and then Utopic Draco Future. A Utopic Future and then Utopic Draco Future. So there we go. So battle it out, attack his monster right there. He manages to destroy all my back rows. Regardless, it was fine. Utopic Draco Future attack all this monster, and then Drill Driver. As main phase 2, we have Zeus. Set 1 Imperm, and basically that is our strong end board right there. So like I said earlier, your problem with dangers is not really the monster that's going to be spiritual summoned to the field, but basically it's the monster that comes out from the extra deck that you need to be worried. So I'm just waiting for the right time for my Utopic Draco Futures effect to pop off, and this is one of the cases actually that we need to negate. So he's just going to ram my Draco feature or even my Zeus to the field. Regardless, it was fine. So yeah, go for IP Masquerena on his turn, and then link off to Avramax. So at this point on, he cannot use the effect for this because I'm just gonna use the effect of Draco feature. So yeah. Chupacabra is gonna be activated. Spell summon Chupacabra. He has Buster Destruction Sword, very annoying card. Anyway, so that is my turn. I draw into Ice Dragon's Prison. Activate Lifeless Leafish. Draw one card. It was bad since we drew into a monster. And then we just attack for game. Or I mean attack, destroy his Avramax and then use the effect for negation and then attack for game. It was game on this point on. Then Zeus to his Chupacabra. And then the sad part is here actually it's just a lot of monsters sent to the graveyard. 32 cards actually sent to the graveyard with regards to his activation. So that made him scoop actually. So out-resourced a resourceable deck. So those are the replays, guys, and that is the deck profile for you guys today. So the key thing what I want to talk to you guys about, don't run this deck. Honestly, it is a waste of time if you are gonna craft even Nash Knight, Zeus, what else? You have here, I don't know, Utopic Feature is a good card. You can craft that one for your other decks. Like Lyreless, you can use this one. You have your, well, basically that's your Era Charmer, your Nash Knight, your Stealth Dragon Spawns is really useless. Other than that, that's basically it. You can use this, the Totally Awesome, on sprites when it comes into Master Duel. The deck is just composed of level 4 monsters. You can even go for the 10U water monster that can be special summoned to the field. It is really an easy XYZ summon. Other than that, it's just mainly focused on materials on the field for an exi summon. That's basically it. If your opponent manages to pop one material, then you're dead on the field for your opponent just to basically end the game on his turn. So that is the gameplay for you guys, and that is the conclusion to this deck. If you want to try this out, if you have the cards, then why not use it? It's really fun actually, just using the shark monsters, just spamming monsters to the field and XYZ summon. So that's it for today. Keep safe, good luck guys, and I'll see you on the next deck build for Master Duel.